Hey everyone, how you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Hi, CY.
Hi Shay, hi Chichi, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. How's everything going? How's work, business? I guess you guys are doing great.
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Shay, we can't see you. Can are you there?
I'm there. I'm there.
Great. Okay, fantastic. So I'm just gonna let you in. And any other guests. If you're joining as a guest or in the studio, please make sure you put your name on. That would help us know who is joining. Obviously, we have people who are watching, on all our various live streams. People who are watching from Facebook, people who are watching from YouTube, from LinkedIn, and so yes, everybody who is joining, I can see a few people are on already. You're welcome to this day one of the Business Analysis Accelerator. This is brought to you by PMGTS. We'll talk a little bit more about what PMGTS is in a short while. But yeah, if you're joining, please just try as much as possible when in the studio, like I mentioned, to make sure you put your name on there. Just so I'm sure, Chichi and people in the studio, what can you see? Can you see the slide with Business Analysis Accelerator?
Yes, I can.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, that means that's up on there. Just want to check. Technology is not always the most intuitive thing to use. So, okay, so great. So you're all welcome to the Business Analysis Accelerator. My name is Chiwa Betze. I'll introduce myself in a short while. But yeah, let's go ahead and proceed. The usually our Business Analysis Accelerator or Project Management Accelerator or these courses are usually presented or are usually done in-house. So we've done this for a number of years now, but we've always kept it in-house. So normally it will be limited to people who have either paid for the course or people who have enrolled. But we decided to do something different on this occasion, and that is to live stream day one. Day one covers a few things which I'll talk about now. Day one. And by the way, just for people who are joining us either on YouTube or Facebook, if you drop a comment in the chat, we're going to pick it up. So feel free, we'll pick up all your chats there. If you have questions, if you have anything that you need answering, just make sure you drop your comment in the chat box there. If you're watching a sort of replay of the live stream, yeah, feel free to email us at info@pmgts or solutions.com. Okay, so what's the agenda for today? First, we're going to have the introduction. We'll go around the room, introduce the people in the room, and then we're going to go to the accelerator course overview. So we're going to look at what the course is about, what the details around the course, and then from there, we're going to go to, okay, I can see somebody's joining. Forgive me if I'm interrupted. I'm just trying to make sure that I admit all the people who are coming in to the studio. Okay, so next we'll have getting the best out of this course. So we're going to talk about this course. What exactly is this course about? And how can you get the best out of the course? Okay, and then after that, we'll take you through the BAA roadmap, the Business Analysis Accelerator roadmap. And that covers everything that you need to know about the entire course from start to finish. Once we're done with that, we're going to go to navigating through the site. So we'll show you how, once you've enrolled on the course, how you can navigate through the site to make sure that you get access to your e-learning content, okay? And then, obviously, we'll talk about the group structure as well. On the group structure, we'll discuss your teams, the teams that you're going to be working in, and the group structure around that as well. Number 7 is your onboarding checklist. What are the tools that you're going to need to be onboarded or to get on board with the Accelerator course? And then finally, we'll take questions and answers. So overall, I'd urge people who are joining in to stay on and just listen in. I mean, it's a free course anyway. You might as well just put it in the background and listen in. This particular day is a free day, so you're not you might as well get the value out of this. But there's a lot of value in this today. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to be covering. And then, so let's start with the first one. So what's the introduction? I'll start with myself. My name is T.Y. Betse. I am many things. Mainly in particular, I founded PMGTS, but I'm a project manager, project management consultant. I've consulted for a variety of agencies and government organizations and non-governmental organizations around the world, from the BBC, EDF Energy, NHS, Jaguar Land Rover. To be honest, sometimes I even forget this whole list. Sometimes I forget. I also train in project and program management as a senior teaching fellow for the University of Warwick. And at the same time, I also train for other universities as well in the United Kingdom. But yeah, I consult for a variety of organizations. I've been on, worked as project manager, program manager, business analyst, and taking so many roles within various organizations. So that's me in a nutshell. You'll probably hear more about me as we progress. I'm going to pass on to Chichi. Chichi, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, TY. I don't know if I can actually tell a bit about myself since your accreditation is so large, but the little I have. So my name is Chichi, as TY mentioned. I'm a project manager. I am currently working for Daisy IT. Previously to that, I worked for National Grid. Before that, I worked for Shell Energy. In those areas, I worked as a project manager, and prior to that, I was a business analyst. TY literally said everything. So on PMGT, I guess your go-to person if you need help or assistance. I'm also one of the tutors as well, so I'm quite knowledgeable in what we teach. So I've been with TY and Sherry for quite some time, and I know them really well. So you guys will have an amazing time. But yeah, I think that's it. Or is there anything else, TY?
No, fantastic. No, brilliant. And you've done amazing. I'm sure you're just trying to keep it as humble as possible. Obviously, you've covered the technology industry. You're obviously doing technology now,
Yes.
and you've covered the energy industry. You've covered quite a lot. The oil and gas industry. So obviously somewhere around the utilities for a company that is quite huge around the world. And I could actually say you've worked for Shell in the past.
Yes.
And you've sort of done it, seen it and done it all, even within your short career. So no, very competent. Chichi is very competent and knowledgeable in a lot of things, and is very, very valuable to PMGTS. Shay, do you want to cover your bits before we move forward?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Sincere apologies. I don't have access to my camera due to the device that I'm using. So my name is Shay Agbola. I'm a certified and experienced business analyst. I have spent over 10 years working on high-profile regulatory data migration and digital transformation projects for some of the world's leading financial institutions. And some of those financial institutions include the Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays Bank, HSBC, and Santander Bank, where I'm working currently. With my wide-ranging experience, I act as a key mentor to aspiring business analysts and project managers. And I'd just like to say welcome to everyone that has joined today's introductory session, and just encourage them that this was not always the case of me working as a business analyst. I used to work in a high-pressure and target-driven retail banking environment, where my take-home pay was not so lucrative. So I wanted to make some big changes to my career, and I spoke to a close friend and mentor and asked how can I progress, and he recommended the role of a business analyst. After doing a bit of research, I decided that this was the career path for me. Now, it took me 12 months of study, reading various books and sitting various qualifications, trainings, before I landed my first business analyst role. Now, after 5 years of working the role, I realized that a lot of the learnings, activities, and qualifications I undertook to land my first BA role were completely pointless. If I just had someone to show me what to do, I could have got to where I could have secured this role much quicker. And that's what we want to achieve in this Business Analyst Accelerator program. We want to give you the tools and strategies to help you to become a business analyst faster. And that's the mentorship, the leadership, and the support that we want to give you on this accelerator program. So just to give you that for a start.
Yeah, thanks, Shay. I think again, everybody's trying to be as humble as possible today, which is a good thing sometimes. But Shay, has done quite a lot in terms of improving organizational processes across a variety of organizations. Obviously, you've mentioned quite a number of the global banks. Obviously, London is considered the financial capital of the world. But Shay, who is the lead lecturer, trainer for this particular course, has been involved with all of those sort of banks, whether it's Lloyds Bank, whether it's Santander, and the likes. Okay, you can look up his profile on LinkedIn, and you would see more about Shay there. But Shay has done quite a lot. He's covered a lot. I know Shay doesn't like talking about it, and I know that Shay is the six-figure voice. So among the six-figure voice. So Shay, you're going to be teaching us how we can also get those six figures, aren't you? Nice. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Let's move on to the next agenda. So we're going to be talking about the accelerator course and the overview. Now, in case you're just joining, or whether you're joining us from Facebook or anywhere you're joining us from, we're going through the accelerator day 1, and today is usually just an introduction to the course. We just go through the details of the course and what people are going to get to the benefits of the course. And for people who still want to join, we still give you the link to join if you still want to be part of this 12-week training. So next, we're going to look at the accelerator course overview, which is our second item on the agenda. And this falls on me, so I'm going to go through this. So I'm sure if you are listening or you're watching from any of our streams, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, you're wondering what are we talking about? This is a 12-week intensive business analysis accelerator course. Okay, business analysis, Shay will talk about in a second. You'll go into all the details on business analysis. But initially, just to give you an overview, it's a hybrid of theory and practical. We cover the theoretical aspects as well as the practical aspects of business analysis. It's 12 weeks, so it starts from today, and then it will run for the next 12 weeks. Okay, it's you have some e-learning modules which will be released in drips. And when we drips, it means that we're not just going to throw everything at you. So it's going to be in tablets, or drips, like I said before. We're not going to throw everything at you. Okay, every week you're going to get one module, and within that one module, you'll have about 6 or 7 or 8 lectures. And those lectures are broken down into 3, 4, 5 minutes. The idea is that we know that majority of you are either people who work and just want to learn business analysis or become a business analyst, probably switch a career, or just want to join or become part of that business analysis career. And so the whole idea is to make sure that we put you in a position where you're not having to say, I'm taking 5 days off because I want to take this training. And so that's why we've broken it down into 12 weeks. Because previously what we've had is we do, and we still have some of those sort of crash courses of 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. We're not doing, we're especially obviously in the current climate, we're not doing that now. Now we're just doing it in drips. So every week you would get one module basically. Next is live coaching. So every Monday you're going to have, and I'll talk about it in a short while as well, you're going to have a live coaching call with Shay. Shay has also covered his profile, so you know who Shay is. So you're going to be covering on Mondays, you're going to have your live coaching calls with Shay Agbola. And it's an opportunity for you to, one, he's going to go through all the aspects of business analysis for that week, And then 2, he's also going to answer your questions as well. With this BAA Business Analysis Accelerator as well, you're going to have weekly activities and presentations. So this is not one of those courses where we just dump information at you, or to you, or just send a lot of information your way, and then you're wondering, what am I going to do with all this information? We're going to hold your hand all the way through, right? So what we are intending to do here is to make sure that everybody who is going through this course, by the time you're done, you know you've gone through a training course. We want to make sure that there is a lot of value in this business analysis course. Because look, business analysts, I have had several business analysts come and work with me when I have been on projects. Those guys get a lot of money. A lot of them would command 400 to 500 pounds a day. That is about $600-700 a day, right? For you to command that amount of money and command those figures, you have to know what you're talking about. And so the whole idea of this course is to make sure that we get you to that point. And so that is why we're not just throwing information at you, we're making sure we hold you all the way through. And that's why you can see CV and interview support. Because wherever you are in the world, we're going to work with you to make sure that we tailor your CV so that it's...
Anything else says?
Sorry, somebody's probably not on mute. So we're going to try as much as possible.
You didn't come up at all.
I'm going to have to
Upstairs,
mute somebody. Yeah, muted someone. Okay, so we're going to take you all the way through. We're going to hold your hand all the way through. We're going to make sure that your CV is right for your market. So wherever you are in the world, whether you're in America, whether you're in the United Kingdom, whether you're in Dubai, we understand the market. We have spent time to research and to study the market around these areas. And that's why we're going to be making sure that we tailor your CV. We make sure that we work with you to make sure that you're covering the right skill sets, or you're making sure that what you're presenting to people is the right CV, or at least the right skill set. Because your CV is more like your advert, isn't it? So it's more like what you're putting out there and you're advertising. Think about the companies that are going on on the adverts on your TV. That is their CV. So we want to make sure that you are advertising to the world and you're saying, I can do this. I can do this. I can be your business analyst. I can support your business by being the BA in that team. And that is why where we want to get you to. The way we see things in PMGTS, we don't see you as an employee. We see you as a value add to that organization. And so what we want to do is to make sure that you are not just somebody who's looking for a job, because you're coming in as a consultant, and we train consultants. Okay, I'm a consultant, Chichi's a consultant, Shay's a consultant, only that they earn 6 figures and I don't. So, okay, so just joking, but yeah, we try to get you to the point where you become that person who can command those numbers a day. You can get that sort of value a day. Whether it's in the US, you can get $800, $600, whatever amount, but you can be competitive in the market, okay? And then finally, as I mentioned, the last 2 things there is we're going to provide you with templates. Some people start on day 1 of the job and they start to ask, what am I going to do today? Or they've asked me to produce a business requirement document. What is the business requirement document? How am I going to create one? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and provide those templates for you, so that on the first day of the job, especially when you've agreed and you've done the interview and they've agreed to give you some big amount of money every day, that you're not panicking and thinking, and when they ask you to produce maybe a BRD, you're thinking, well, actually, I don't really know what a BRD is. No, we want to make sure that you have the knowledge, but at the same time, you're able to deliver. And things like, templates will just make things faster for you and will obviously make you shine. Also, just to point out, every session, as you can see this last part of the slide, every session is recorded, okay? So you're not, even if you were at work or you're driving back home or whatever it was, we'll record the session and we'll upload it and you would have access to it. So you're not going to miss anything. This is even better than a live session, because when we do these things in classrooms, and I've taught in universities around the world, when you've gone to a classroom to teach, that's it. Nobody's going to come back and tell you to play what you taught. You've taught the students, and that's it. But in this particular training, what you would find is that you're going to not just get the training in terms of at that point, but you're also going to get the replace as well. So a lot of value there. Now I'm going to move forward. I'm going to let Shay pick up the a little bit, talk a little bit on business analysis. For those people who don't know what it is, Shay is going to talk on it. I'm just going to go on mute. Shay, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just want to check, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, TY. You know, he's a man on 6-digit figures, just trying to be as modest as possible. I'm just going to quick start, just give you a brief introduction of what this amazing career is all about. So first of all, what is business analysis? I mean, a lot of us will have one idea of what business analysis is about. We can move to the next slide just to give us a definition of what business analysis is. TY, if you can move to the next slide, please. The next slide, thank you. So according to the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, BABOK, business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Business analysis enables an enterprise to articulate needs and the rationale for change, and to design and describe those solutions that deliver value. Now, an easy way to explain this is that a business analyst bridges the gap from technical to non-technical stakeholders. They are actually the middleman between the business and the IT. If you can go to the next slide, I just want to use a simple analogy to explain this. So if you look at that slide, you see the picture of a waiter taking an order in a restaurant. Now, a business analyst is like a highly paid waiter or waitress. Now, the last time I went into a restaurant, the waiter would take your order, which are the requirements. However, the waiter does not have enough expertise to prepare that order. They take you to the chef to prepare your meal or whatever food you request for. Now, the waiter takes the cooked dish back to you, the customer, and then asks for feedback. How was your meal? Is everything okay? Now, this is essentially how you perform the role of a business analyst. You take requirements from business stakeholders. You are usually not in a position to carry out the instructions. So you take the instructions to an expert. Usually it is a software developer or the tech team. Now, the developer produces the solution and presents the solution back to the business stakeholders and asks for their opinion. So you can see you are essentially a highly paid waiter or waitress. Now, usually 80% of job as a business analyst is gathering requirements. By gathering requirements, you are essentially figuring out the problems the company has, which usually involves not making enough revenue or not managing costs. So you do your requirements via workshops, meetings, and one-on-one interviews. Now, in order for you to gather requirements, you actually need to know who your stakeholders are. Now, after understanding or identifying who your stakeholders are, it is important to understand what your current business process is, which is known in business as their sales process. And so you cannot figure out where a company is going to until you know how their current process works. So this is just in a nutshell what business analysis is. It's not as complicated or as complex as many of us think it is. It's something that anyone with proper training, with the right mentorship, with the right leadership, is capable of doing. Can we move to the next slide, TY? So what value do business analysts provide? And that's a key question. Why are business analysts in very high demand in the UK market? And not just the UK market, in the global market, in a lot of countries across the world, like Canada, United States. Why are business analysts in very high demand? Why would a company or an organization hire a business analyst? Now, a business analyst is a change agent. They help that organization or company to make change. Companies, organizations, corporations are making changes all the time. They are constantly evolving their business model to make them more competitive, more valuable, more productive, to come up with new products, new processes, services. It is a constant thing that their business is doing. And the only constant thing in business is change. Businesses are constantly evolving. Now, the business analyst comes in to help enable that change. Now, what do I mean by that? Think of a business executive, think of a CEO. They are usually visionaries who have big and innovative ideas. They are going to come up with vision for that company. And that could be a business case, or that could be the term of reference. Now, they know where they want to get to, but they actually do not know how to get there. They know what they want to achieve, but they do not know how to achieve it. It's like someone who knows his or her destination is Manchester, but is trying to figure out the most efficient means of transportation that he or she will use. Will it be by car? Will it be by plane? Will it be by helicopter? Will it be by bus? It is the role of the business analyst to define the most efficient means of transportation. So the business executive or the owner of business or the CEO, they have no idea the first step it would take to achieve their vision. Now, this is where the business analyst comes in. They help that organization to understand the vision, to understand what the organization is looking to do. So if, for instance, where the company is trying to implement a brand new piece of software, or they want to overhaul a process that is critical to that organization, it's going to take them a lot of time to put all these things together. Now, the business analysts will need to understand that vision and opportunity. They will walk through the business to understand what the needs of the stakeholders are, what the needs of the customers are, what the needs of the users are. And then they will help to define that solution. They will help to translate those needs into technologies that can be understood by who is creating the solution, like IT and the developers. So for the software example, the software analogy that I just used, the business analyst will be translating those needs into functional and non-functional requirements or ideas that the developer can use to create that piece of software. So that's basically how a business analyst adds value to an organization. Now, I can give you two examples in which a business analyst can add value, looking at the current pandemic that has affected the world. Now, a lot of organizations are moving to full-time work at home. Now, while they may currently have a work at home option available for certain roles or certain positions, with the new normal, they now will be taking the whole company and moving it to a work at home environment. Now, it sounds so simple. Some people think all what the employee needs to do is not coming to work, but just work from their house. But it's not as simple as that. We need to know, do they have access to the right device or software? Do they have remote access to the systems of that company? Now, there are a lot of risks and challenges that come with that, which needs to be identified. At first glance, you may not see them, but they are very important and critical to that organization. Now, the business analyst job is to help that company understand and execute the vision of transforming the entire company into a work from home environment. The business analyst understands the vision, the needs of the employees, the users, what they need to have access to. So what do they do on the daily basis? is that they make sure that they have access to all these different kind of elements. They ensure that all these things, which are requirements, are documented and understood so that solutions can be created to help that company achieve their vision. Now, I'll just give you a final example of what value a business analyst provides. Now, due to the recent pandemic, a lot of companies are going to self-service like McDonald's, where you order your own food. Grocery stores and gas stations have had this facility for a long time. Now, those self-service items are going to come with a new software or software changes that enables you to do that in your system, which will likely come up with process changes on how that company handles their self-service. Now, the business analyst will be needed to help to overhaul that change, help that organization or company understand what needs to be changed, and help them move to the path of making that change. So that's essentially the value. I'm just giving an example, the value that a business analyst adds to an organization or a company or an entity. And that's one of the main reasons why they're in such high demand. Now, we're now going to look at, if you can go to the next slide, what are the different types of business analyst roles? Because the role or the kind of a BA seems so wide, but there are different types of business analyst roles that we can look at. So the first one is the business process analyst. Now, this is someone who usually uses some software or workflows to create process models that can be simulated, analyzed, and executed directly by the business. Now, the business process analyst helps the business executives in decision making by modeling and simulating what-if scenarios. So some of the key things they do is that they model those business processes. They take that process and make it visual, which makes it easier to understand, digest, and to identify any potential issues with that process. So they help that organization understand what steps it needs to get to its vision. So the business process analyst is constantly known as the business process engineer or a business process modeler. So it is a role I've done in several capacities at some of the financial institutions where I've had to go into that company and map out hundreds of processes. Another common type of business analyst role is the requirement analyst or the requirement engineer. Now, the requirement analyst is responsible for working with project stakeholders and end users to elicit or gather, understand, analyze, and document the requirements. Now, they are the ones that dig out the needs and the wants of the organization or the company so that they can be completely understood and eventually solved in that final solution. Now, this role usually bridges the gap between the business and IT, as they are often using information technology solutions to solve their business problem. Now, other common titles for a requirement analyst is a requirement engineer or a functional architect. Now, another common type of a business analyst role is the system analyst. Now, this is someone that works with the technical team. This is mostly a system solution-centric role. They don't usually participate in the required process, but once the requirements are defined, documented, they help to design and create a solution by working with the technical team, the solution architects, and the developers, and help together put all the specifications that the solution needs. And so they're sometimes referred to as system engineers, but most commonly called system analysts. Now, the final type of business analyst role we'll be looking at is the data analyst. Now, these are people that perform logical data modeling. They identify patterns in data. They design and create reports. So these are the 4 common types of business analyst roles that you will come across. And what we would do here at PMGTS is to map your strengths, map your skill set to any of these common types of business analyst roles, so you can go in there and excel and succeed as a business analyst. So this is, in a nutshell, just an introduction to business analysis.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Shay. That was on the bullet. Thanks. I think. Are you still there, Shay?
I believe Shay is breaking, so I don't think you can hear us clearly.
Okay. I think majority of what he said anyway we've picked up. I think Shay was talking about all the various roles. Now, when you join, Shay, your voice is breaking, so we can't really hear you at the moment.
I'm still there.
It's still breaking a bit. So we'll probably come back anyway, just to give you a bit more time to get your the internet issue resolved. We'll come back again to this, but you pretty much touched on all of the, you went down to the data analyst, and it just gives people an opportunity to see the various areas where your skill set, because a lot of times what you find is your skill set might not necessarily fit into one box. So you might be more of a business process analyst person. Some people are very, very good with requirements analysis. I have somebody who I've worked with, can't, stop talking about the person. Very, very good requirements analyst. I've never had anybody that is as good as her in terms of requirements analysis. But then she's not very good data analyst, but very good requirements analyst. So there are various areas and sort of that you can, fit into within business analysis. And part of what we will help you do is to tailor your strengths to which area you will be best suited for. And trust me, all of these roles are in demand. So that wherever, I get emails even from America, from the United Kingdom, from Dubai. I remember, having a laugh with somebody when we were saying, I was saying to the person to respond back and say, show me the money. And, if you show the money, then I'll probably travel to Dubai, but I don't want to go to, sorry, it was Abu Dhabi. And I said, you have to drop some real moolah for me to leave and go to Abu Dhabi, because obviously I'm going to leave my family. But the whole idea, and just what we're trying to say here, is that if you have the right skill sets, you attract the people who are looking for that skill set, right? So that's part of what we help people do. Okay, so while Shay is trying to sort out his internet, the next thing on the agenda is getting the best out of the course. We're going to be very quick because we want to keep this whole seminar within the hour, maximum 1 hour, 15 minutes. So we're going to be snappy as we proceed. So Chichi is going to cover getting the best out of the course. Chichi, take over.
Thank you, TY. So we've had some analysis on this. So we've looked at it, and from our previous cohorts, we've also noticed that sometimes they struggle and they don't know how to manage their time. So we've given a brief timeline on how to manage your time once you're on this course, and how to manage your time as well. So like TY mentioned, you have your modules which are drip fed every week. So you have segments of different modules sent to you. So you will get a notification. And what tends to happen is, TY, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we drop them on Friday, or is that Thursday night?
That's correct. That's correct. For example, with the BAA, so Business Analyst Accelerator, the first module will be dropping tomorrow. So that you're right. It's Fridays. It will drop on Fridays.
Okay. So we presume that the module is sent to you. So when we say drop, it's literally emailed across, and then you have access to see it in your course, and then you have time to read. So it's dropped on Friday, and what we think is that you have enough time between Friday and Monday before your coaching call, enough time to read, or enough time to watch the videos, enough time to just get an understanding of the information that's been sent across to you. So that's why we put in 2 hours. So it could be a case that on Saturday, in case you're working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, on Saturday morning, you spend 1 hour or 2, depending on how quick you want absorb the information. So you spend an hour, on Sunday you spend another hour, and that's 2 hours gone, and you've read your information and you've captured the information. And then on Monday, you have your coaching course. Sorry, I've just looked at the thing I mentioned. I'm so sorry. I meant 2 hours. So 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday, rather than 2 hours I mentioned. So it's a total of 4 hours. So you see where it says study time, you have 4 hours. So on Monday, when you then have your coaching call, this will be Shay going through the module that you've just studied and you just read. So he's just reinforcing all that knowledge, all that information, so that you're fully aware, and then you have that time to ask any questions about what you read and for you to know. So that module review, we think it will be a good 2 hours. So you have an hour with us and you just reviewing everything again. It's 2 hours. On that day as well, what would happen is that you would be given tasks to complete. You'll be, I think this is what Tiwa will explain later, or Sherry later on in this conversation. You'll be in different groups, and in those groups you have to accomplish those tasks. So everything that you'll be doing on the course is a live project. So you'll be working just as you would in an office, because we want to make it as close and as real as possible. The project is a real project. It is one that is being sponsored. So be aware in the task that you're doing, it is a course that you are being graded on, and also it is something that's going to be used for the business that we're working with. So you have that time to review your information for roughly 2 hours. So from Monday till is it Thursday, TY, that they have their information?
Yes, it's Monday to Thursday. So you get the coaching call on Monday, you get your task for that week, and that's, so you have to focus on that task between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you present on Friday back to your team. So you present back everything you've done between Monday and Thursday. But obviously you have in between work, if you come back from work and all of that, you have all that time to sort of put yourself in a position where you can do all those activities. And we try to make sure that if there are activities you can do within that time frame as well. You can go ahead.
Exactly. Thank you, TY. So yes, from Monday to Thursday, you and your team members will be liaising with each other. So it could be on a WhatsApp message, it could be on emails, or it could be through the system that we'll be using to do the project. So you could liaise and communicate through those mediums. So what we presume during that time, that group work is roughly 4 hours. So it depends on how you and your members are available. So it's a discussion between the two of you. We don't want to make it structured, because we know that people are working, people have family, there's different priorities that they have. So we try and let the members agree on a time and agree on a schedule for themselves. So we presume roughly 4 hours. So these are not set in stone hours. This is just what we think where you definitely get the best. You can put in more, you can put in less. It just depends on how much you absorb the information and how quick you manage those tasks. So between Monday and Thursday, we presume roughly 4 hours. It could be an hour a day, it could be 2 hours on one day, or it could be 4 hours on one day, depending on what you guys decide. And then on the Friday, what you then have is a day that you present your work. So just as you would in an office, once you accomplish your tasks, you go into your stand-up meetings, or you go into your workshops and present this information to the people who need to see this. So that is the same thing that you would do. So you present it to your sponsors, and you also present it to Shay. So Shay will be there to assist in anywhere that you've gone wrong, or just correct you, and also just to see how much you have learned and how much information you've put into that group task. So that will be on the Friday. So in total, we presume if you dedicate 10 hours, it sounds a lot when you say it all together, but if you break it into smaller chunks, it's very manageable. But we presume 10 hours is the best, and you definitely get the most out of it. But yes, Tima, that's what I would advise on this.
Thanks a lot, Chichi. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think if people dedicate, a little bit of time after work, and you sort of put it in, I whenever I'm doing a training, And I've done so many of these. So if I make sure that after work for that period, I sort of before I go to bed, which means a late night for me, but what it means is that at the end of those 12 weeks, I'm able to pace myself. So I'm able to pace myself in such a way that I get best out of the course. And so what I would say is, as much as possible, just make sure that you give yourself enough time to go through these things. Because what you want to do is learn. And you can't learn by trying to cram or trying to rush things. And remember that this is your opportunity to get skills. It's not about just knowledge. Because there's something I say, skills pay the bills. It's not about the school you went to. It's not about what you can go to, get all the degrees you want, right? But if you do not have the skill set, I hire people. There's somebody who is joining our team. We're hiring who's joining our team. And when we've been doing the interview, all I've been looking out for is the skills. People can say all they want. And I had 3 interviews. And somebody said, oh, they've done this, they've done that. They told me all the certificates they've had. But then what I did was I tried to give the person a task and try to see how the person, went in with that task. So how the person took that or went through that task and successfully, or how the person the approach the person took with that task. And that is what will make me hire or not hire the person. And that's what will make you hire or not hire, or that will make you hired or not. Okay. So it's about the skill. So that's why we've said, look, it will take 10 hours a week of dedication on this course for you to get the best out of it. Business analysis.
Hi, TY. Apologies, but you seem to be
Let's have a quick
breaking.
look at that. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Just let me know if you can hear me. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so today's Thursday. Just going to run through it quickly. It's Thursday today, so obviously, normally we start on a Friday, but today we started on a Thursday because we were 1 week late. We were meant to actually start last week. For some reason, we didn't start last week. We started this week, and so we decided to move it into April because we had a few other engagements that came in. So ideally, we would have started on a Friday, but we started on a Thursday, which there's no harm in that. That is 1st of April, which is the Welcome to the BAA, which is what you're on now. The module release will be tomorrow. For those who have enrolled on the course, you would have access, you'd have your email, you have your password and everything. And you'd get your first release. There's 6 videos that are being released. And that's the whole 30-minute video that will cover the introduction. So everything she has said here now, you would get that repeated on the course as well. And you can always play those videos over and over again. The entire video, you would have access to the course for 6 weeks. Okay, so you have access to it for the 3 weeks that you're on the course, but then you would also have access to it 3 months that you're on the course and 3 months after you've left the course. So you have a total of 6 weeks so that you can go through the videos again. On Monday, you're going to have your first coaching call for those people who have enrolled, those people who want to enroll, because you can still join today. You'll have your coaching call. And then on the next Friday, it will continue like that. I'm not going to go through every line, but I'm sure you get the gist. You're going to get your task presentation, your first task presentation next week Friday. Okay, so you'll get that next week Friday, where you would have gotten a task presented, like Chichi mentioned, or given to you here, and that task will be presented on Friday. You would also then have a new module being released. That's module 2 being released at that point. And then what would happen? On the Monday, you go through the coaching call, which would coach you on that module. And then after that, what would happen again? On the Friday, you get your task presentation. So after the coaching call assignment, you get a task. And then you'll have to work on that task between Monday and then Friday, and you have to deliver the task by Friday. Again, 10 hours in a week should be more than enough. And then it will continue like that. I chose not to sort of show you every single time because this is obviously just within April, but it will continue like that for 12 weeks. And trust me, by the time you're done the 12 weeks, you'll know you have gone through an intense training. As I said, we have courses where we do the 2-day crash course, and that is tailored to certain organizations and companies. But we've found that this sort of course where we spread across 6 weeks or across 12 weeks tends to be very effective. Okay, next, navigating through the site. This falls on me as well. So I'm going to quickly take you through the site. So just give me a second. I'll stop sharing and I'll reshare in a second. Don't panic. Let's put that down and then go to the website. Okay. So hopefully my screen should come back up now. I think.
Not yet. We just can't see you.
Okay, all right, give me a sec. Okay, it should come up. Maybe I shouldn't have stopped sharing.
While
okay,
you're trying to sort that, a question just came through. I think I'll try and answer that while you're just trying to sort yourself. So the question is, greetings. Could you elaborate on the coaching call, please? Is it a one-to-one with an expert or a group format where a number of students get to interact with an expert? What duration is the coaching call? Okay, so with thank you for that question. So with the coaching call, it is a group call. So everybody that will be on the course or in that cohort will be on that call. It will be one-to-one with Shay, because he's our lead expert in business analyst. I and TY will also jump onto the calls, or either me or TY, one of us will jump onto the calls just for assistance. But Shay will lead the call. So what he will do is he will go through information, just tell you the brief points concerning on what was discussed in the modules, and then you have the opportunity to ask questions. So if you have any questions, let's say you've read the modules or you've watched the videos and you are not sure on a couple of things, so you can bring those questions to that call. The second question is, what duration is the coaching call? We try and stick to an hour 15, but we sometimes people could have questions, or people could just want a little bit more extra, or let's say, for instance, a couple people just dropped in quite late, because we do try and give that tolerance in the beginning just to make sure that everybody is in, so that we can make sure that they get all that information. So it can just slightly run over 10, not more than that, but we're trying to see if we can keep to that hour 15. But our calls are roughly an hour, but we add that leeway of 15 to 25 minutes. So yes, I hope that answered your question. TY, any luck?
Yes, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Okay, so how you get there is pmgtsolutions.com. Okay, and you just go into PMGT Solutions and then you get here. Obviously, if you have registered already on the site, you will, if you've enrolled, you'll have your email and password. So I'm just going to you go into signing there. I created an account with sort of a random account just for the purposes of this. So just going to put something in there, just random account, okay? And just was going to talk about a few things potentially while that loads, but doesn't seem to be loading. Let me just be sure that comes up. Okay, good. So on here, you'd see that it's sort of, I'm enrolled on 2 courses. It all depends on how many courses that you're enrolled in. Okay, so here I'm enrolled on 2 courses, and I set this whole thing up just to present this to you. Okay, so don't it's nothing to panic about. If you come on there, you'll see my courses. You can join the community if you have one. You can check out our blog. All our courses are on there. We'll come on to that in a jiffy. But then, what you're interested in, if you're on here today, obviously, we have our project management accelerator, but we're not talking about that today, right? We're talking about business accelerator. You're not going to see anything now because we haven't. Again, if you recall, we said it's in drips. So don't panic when you see, if you enrolled and you see this place is empty. It's empty because the first set of modules are released on a Friday. So tomorrow, if I came here, you're going to see 6 different courses, 6 different modules within 6 different lectures within one module. And they will all appear here. And then you can click and you can go in and you can watch. Okay. If you clicked on there, you would go in and then you would watch the module. What I'm going to try and do is to try and see if I can give you a sort of sneak peek in the project management accelerator one, because this current project management accelerator, the people who are on this course are on week, Chichi, on week 6, isn't it? Our current cohort, they are currently on week 6. So as you can see, they have all your things released, okay, on here. So you can see that they can go. So let's just try one of them, just to give you an idea. So if you obviously place the course, you go in there, you just click on there, and just want to reduce my volume because it might just go. So yeah, obviously you would have all the you have the course come up there. Hi and welcome to this. So that's I'm not going to go through that. I just wanted to navigate through the site and just show you what it's all about. Yeah, so that's basically how you navigate through the site. Obviously, you have all of your stuff on the left. You can go through that, and then you can obviously watch the videos on here. You can go to the next lesson. Just wanted to give you a bit of an insight. We have a community that is set up for you within, so to interact with your colleagues and people who are also going through the course as well with you. So that was just me trying to show you that. We'll go back into our presentation. Just give me a sec. Just bringing that back up. Let's present. My internet is deciding today to embarrass me, so just bear with me. So, okay.
While you're sorting that out, I was going to say, I think Shay's back as well. Yes.
So, we've covered navigating through the site, so we're going to go through group structure. So, Shay, you're back on right on time. We sort of, again, we're going to keep this 1 hour maximum, 15 minutes. So we're going to be done in a jiffy. Shay, can you quickly run through this?
I believe he's on mute. Are you able to unmute him?
Oh, right. Okay, let me unmute you, Shay. Shay, can you speak now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can hear you, yes.
I was just trying to speak. Yes. So, looking at this whole structure, I will be the lead business analyst. So I'll be working with the project team, which consists of, which has TY, who will be the executive sponsor, and Chichi will be the project executive. So they actually have a live project, and our business analysts will be working with that live project. And the great thing about it is that you will be having a training where you'll be able to learn in the safe environment where you can make your mistakes, learn from your mistakes in a very safe environment. I mean, one of the challenges that a lot of candidates have is that they go for the training, but they don't have that platform to apply some of those tools and techniques that they use during the training. So they now get a role at a corporation or a financial institution, and they may not have the appetite because they're bringing you as an expert. So they may not have the appetite for them to learn from your mistakes. What we intend to do with this whole structure is that you will be working with TY, who will be the executive sponsor, with Chichi, who will be the project executive, and myself, I will be the lead business analyst, and will be holding your hands in order for you to go step by step and learn the role. So it's going to be very, very practical. It's not just going to be theory and we train techniques and tools at you. You will have the opportunity, the platform to execute those techniques. And by the time you've done the 12 weeks intense training course, you will be fully equipped to excel in your first BA role. And then the other part, we've got the workshop facilitators as well. You will also have the opportunity for you to facilitate workshops. And that's what I mean by you will be given the opportunity to put what you learn into practice. And also, you also have the opportunity to learn as a business analyst as well. So some of you will play the role of a workshop facilitator, you will play the role of a business analyst, and you'll be playing that role in order for you to get the practical experience of what business analysis is, because that's the main thing that you will need to help you to succeed. And that's one of the things that is lacking from a lot of training modules, a lot of training courses, is the practical experience. And that's what we intend to give you. Now, somebody asked the question, will there be one-on-one coaching? That is what we're going to provide. We're going to provide that mentorship. And if you've got any area that you're struggling with, you've got a fantastic team, over 29 years combined experience, who will be there to hold your hand and provide that support. So that's in a nutshell how we'll be working. So you're going to have your own team. You're going to be working with the project team led by Tiwa and Chichi, where you will gather requirements, map processes for a live project. So just to give you a brief overview of what you'll be doing the course. Is there anything that Tiwa or Chichi wants to add?
No.
Hello? I hope I'm not having network issues again.
No, Tiwa, if you're speaking, we can't actually hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic. So what I was saying was there is a live project which we're working on. So there's a live actual project which is going to deliver something substantial. Okay, and we're currently doing that at the moment. And the guys who are on our project management accelerator are actually working on that project as we speak. And so the good thing is that you're also going to join up on that project. It's a big project, okay? Well, big for us. It is relative in terms of what you say big, but it's a project. So the good thing is that you're going to actually be delivering something. You're not just going to be learning. Remember what we said? You're not just going to be learning about all sorts of things and not applying it. You're going to be applying it in the real world, okay? And the good part of it is if you work through and you attend all the modules and you go through to the end, you can actually use that as something you've worked on in your interviews, because you're not actually saying you've worked on a simulation, you're saying you've worked on a live project. And that's what recruiters want to hear. So that's another amazing thing about it. So enough of that. Let's move on because we're out of time and we need to keep the time. So just for those who have already enrolled and those who plan to enroll, this is just a few things on your checklist, okay? One is you need to make sure that and check that you can access the student's dashboard, okay? Just what I went through just now. You also have to make sure you've created a unique Gmail account. So if you have a Gmail account, perfect. The reason we use Gmail Suite is that for at this point, Gmail has everything that we need and sort of integrates with everything that we need. So from a lot of the templates, you're going to get them through Google Drive. And then I'll show you Smart Task in a short while, which you're going to be using. But again, that integrates to Google Drive. So sort of storage is in Google Drive. You can use Google Sheets for your presentations, and then you can have Google Mail. So it all works together nicely. So it's good to have a Gmail account. We recommend that you use a Gmail account. Make sure you have your Microsoft package. So you have your Microsoft Word, you have your Excel, you have your PowerPoint. Very important. And then make sure you have access to Microsoft Visio. If you don't have access to it now, you can sign up for a free account. We can show you how to get that. You can get a free account which you can use within the course of this training. Okay, so you can get access to Visio. Smart Task, I'm just going to show you a little bit. Just give me a second.
While you're getting Smart Task, I'll just chime in on the Google part. So with Google, why we advise people to create that unique account is because we want you to center everything concerning your career, concerning your growth, concerning your training, all in one place. So if let's say you start applying, which we do advise that as soon as possible because we're here to assist. When you start applying, all your emails are channeled through into that unique Gmail account that you create. And also, if, for instance, you're not able to acquire the Microsoft package or acquire Visio, Google does hold these packages as well. Google have their own formats of Google Sheets, Google PowerPoint. They also have Draw, which is similar to Visio. It has all the symbols, all the shapes that you need when you're creating your process maps and stuff. So this is why I would highly advise Google, because it has everything in one place. And as well, like TY said, it also fits in with Smart Tasks and also the storage. So these are the drives. So if you're sharing information, unfortunately with COVID, you can't have that meeting and you need to share something, or you can work on the document together on that Google package. This is why we highly recommend it, because in an office, offices tend to have things like SharePoint, which is similar to what we're trying to give the picture of with Google. So yes, go for it, TY.
Excellent, Chichi. That's spot on. And so just again, as we're trying to make sure we round up on time here with 1:15, is you would obviously, this is not what, I'm just giving you an example. So you obviously have this is a Kanban board, by the way, for people who haven't used it before. So you'd have your tasks and you'd manage them here. This is the closest we can get to try and replicate what you would do in the real world in an organization. And the whole idea, again, is to give you the opportunity not just to come and just be bombarded with information. Is that every week, week in, week out, you're working on actual stuff, right? And you're mapping out your timelines, and you're making sure that everything is sort of aligned. Obviously, you're working with the project managers, and you're trying to deliver something that is this is a sort of a timeline and all of that. And then you have access to chat with your colleagues as well. I'm not going to go into that at the moment. You have time to interact with many of your sort of people who are working with you on the project. And then you can sort of see everything. And then you can add your tasks here. You can take off your tasks. This just gives you an idea. And all I just wanted to do, I'll just give you an idea of Smart Tasks, which will add you to an account for the 12 weeks that you're going to be on the train. So you have access to it all through, and your business analysis alongside the project managers on the same one. So let me go back to presentation. So for benefit of time, once this shares, we're going to go to I think the second to the last, if not the last item before we call it quits. Just give me a sec, it's coming up. Okay, fantastic. So that's basically Smart Tasks that I just showed you now. But you access Smart Tasks by going to projects.pmgtsolutions.com. We'll talk about all of that when you join or if you enroll. But again, you have to be set up with an account on there, but you have to enroll to be set up with an account. So the last item here is Q&A. I think the only question which was in the chat has been answered. So if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the chat. It's interesting, today is April Fool's Day, so it's April Fool's sale. So it's 50% off, right, of the course. And I've put the link in there in terms of you getting access to the course. It's 3 fixed payments of $245 per month, and that is 50% off. As you can see, the normal cost it will normally cost you $490 per month for 3 months, but it's £245 per month. Now, this is one thing that will give you 14 days, so 2 weeks, money back guarantee. If you sign up, if you join after 2 weeks, if you feel like this is not for you, no questions asked. We'll shake hands and say, look, we'd rather this is for you. If it's not for you, fantastic. We understand. So it's not about your money. Okay, it's not about money, and it's not about your money. It's about trying to make sure we produce enough people that have the right skills, the right skill set to command those sort of skills that are being put on business analysts. So you have 14 days, join the course, you think it's not what you want, you get the money you paid back. No questions asked for whatever reason. Okay, so you at that point, obviously, you have to enroll so you won't get access to the videos. But if you join and you just watch the videos for the 2 weeks, no problem. Okay, so that's just to keep your mind at rest. It's more about trying to make sure that we get people, more and more people, to get the right skills in the job market. So there is your guarantee there if you're looking to join. I wouldn't stay too much. I'm not a salesperson, so I don't stay too much on sales. But yeah, you'll get access to it at that price. Again, I can't see any questions just yet, but I'll quickly come back to the questions part. How are we doing with time? We have a couple of minutes. I'll quickly touch on this, okay? At the end of this training, as we do with all our trainings, we are going to do a performance we're going to give you through the weeks. We're going to score you. And at the end, people are going to get prizes. So we're going to get the best business analyst based on dedication, based on review of modules, based on presentations, based on professionalism, and meeting the objectives. And they're going to get a prize, a special PMGTS prize. I'm sure that, obviously it's not like we're going to buy you a Bentley or something. We wish. Hopefully you'll get to that point. But it will be good recognition, because for you to obviously get to that point, it wouldn't just make us proud and happy, but we would also want to share that moment with you and see you blossom. Okay. There's several people who have gone through these courses with us. I've been doing this for the last 10 years, 11 years now, actually, when I was thinking about it since 2010. I've trained over 2,500 delegates. I've trained at a lot of universities. I even got a call yesterday to come to join another university who wants us to train as well. So this is a road here that we have been on for a while. So at some point, when you've been on doing many of these things, you want to make sure that you have the right people and you have the right fit. And that's why I said it's very important that we have the synergy, we work together. You join 2 weeks. If you feel it's not for you, again, like we said, all your money back, no questions asked. Okay. So we'll go back to the quick questions within the next 1 minute. If we have them, we'll answer them. I have questions. Again, all of your training is going to take maximum 1 hour 15 minutes. We're not going to take all trainings will be 1 hour 15 minutes maximum. Nothing more than that. We stick to that time. It's 1 hour, but if it gets to 1 hour 15 minutes, then we'll keep it that. We'll try and stick to time. Also, secondly, as well, is if you don't attend, you can always watch the replay, but we always encourage that you attend so that you interact. So I think we sort of covered everything. Chichi and Shay, any final thoughts? Again, I'm not your trainer. Shay is your lead lecturer. Okay, we are supporting. I and Chichi are only supporting. We train more on different aspects. Just before I forget, apologies. I should have said this before, but I'm just going to do it now either ways. Give me a second. Just to give you, don't worry, I'll keep your time intact, affect your time. I'm not going to keep you long. Come on. Let's show them this. So I know there's some people who have joined who might have an interest in something else. So you might have joined and you're not necessarily looking at the Business Analysis Accelerator, and you're looking more at something else. We have a pile of courses building up, okay? So our site is evolving as the days go by, and we're getting more, as we get more accreditations, we're getting our courses updated. If you come on our website, you can see that we offer a variety of project management courses, business analysis training, ITIL training. Most of these are certification trainings. The BAA, you get a certificate, or the PMA, you get a certificate, but they're not certification trainings in terms of certified by maybe people who want an ITIL or all of those things. They are certified by PMGTS, but we have enough qualified people who train in universities anyway. So whatever you get is valued. So that's aside. But you get all the ITIL, all your Scrum, all your quality management, your Lean Six Sigma, your AWS, those who do cloud computing. You're going to get your Azure, your CRM sort of certifications, and you get a lot of others, and a lot of others are coming as well. So just keep checking the website. You also see more coming through. If you have any questions, you can go to the right here. Just click on here, depending on which tool you want to use. You can send us an email. You can go on WhatsApp. You can go on Instagram, or you can go on Facebook Messenger, and either of them you can access us through that. I promise to keep it at 1:15, so I'm going to shut up now and let Chichi or Shay bring this to a close. So Chichi, do you want to round up, and Shay also round up quickly as well?
Yes, thank you so much, TY. I think the one thing that we actually forgot to touch on as well is the CV and the interview prep. I don't know if we covered that, but I'll just quickly say, so we do have the CV prep. So you have a one-to-one with either me, TY, or Shay, so that you have that CV structure. So what you would do is you would send in your CV, we would review it, and then we'll send you feedback, and then you then have to amend your CV according to that feedback, and then you have that one-to-one call and just discuss it with you. The other one that we do offer is the interview prep. So we have I don't know how savvy people are. So we have rooms on Clubhouse where we'd have hot seats. So we have interview prep hot seats. We also have CV information where we talk about tips and hints. We will also be posting on the Facebook group. So we highly advise that you do join those groups, because I know once we get to a certain point, it'll be closed, or I think it's actually closed at the moment. But we highly advise that you do join, because we have those conversations, those discussions, because we know that for you to advertise yourself and for you to present yourself, it is through these mediums of a CV or an interview. So we try and help you, I guess, articulate yourself when you're doing your interviews, and obviously on your CV, because there are some things that are not supposed to be on the CV, and there's a way and structure of writing your CV, and also a way of structure of I guess answering interview questions. So that's one thing I really wanted to zone in as well. That is definitely offered across the course. I think it's week 11 and 12 if I'm mistaken. I will confirm on that. And again, the other thing I was going to say, try it, enjoy it, and you definitely will not go back. It's something that I would highly advise someone to take, because somebody is there. Because I remember when I first started at National Grid, they had no form of templates, they had no structure, they had nothing, and it was quite challenging for me to be a project manager and not know how to, I guess, manage them. Because they had nothing. I had to start creating all that information, and thank God I had that knowledge, and also with being on these courses and assisting TY and Shay, it was easy for me to bring those templates that I originally had and put them into business. So I'm just saying this because some people would think it's only small businesses that tend to have issues with I guess business templates, but this is National Grid, quite well known, quite big. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say. Shay, I'll pass it on to you, or TY.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you, Chichi and TY. We're just going to round up now. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining. You've got three options. You can decide not to do anything. You can decide to do it by yourself, or you can let us help you and support you. And with our years of experience and expertise, we can help you become a business analyst faster than you expect. So it would be great if you give us that platform to support you and empower you. So we look forward to you joining the BA Accelerator program, and it will be kicking off later next week.
Just for clarity, the first module is dropping tomorrow. The first coaching call is on Monday, and you don't want to miss it. So just join, invite people, send it to somebody, share the message to somebody, whoever it is, join. Because obviously, once we start, the reason why we're doing this today is because obviously once we start, then we can't start going back to try and drag people along. So, but again, you can always reach out to any one of us, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you, everybody. Sorry for taking a bit more of your time. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. From PMGTS, this is us shutting down and closing out. Hopefully we'll speak to some of you or all of you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.